Hi, I'm Angified. I started Angified Presents.
We share the love of music.
It has been medicine and therapy. Nothing else worked.
It has saved many of us. With mental health, we need to open our eyes.
Hurt people hurt people.
We ask that you listen, comprehend, and relate with your ears.
Form that heart of unity and one.
We share on this stage.
Statistics, feelings.
And ourselves.
We stand with the belief to be you, to be heard, and to be original.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs.
At the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters.
We are family.
We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world. Open your minds, let in the love,
and listen with your hearts.
We all want a better tomorrow. Be one.
Communicate and look out for one another. And then, and only then, will you find the world.
We will find peace in all the world.
You'll find the world. And you will find in this shining world. He was among us in every boy and girl. Many have been broken, red hearts turn black. Love will melt the ice and turn it back, and you will find the world. You will find the world. You will find
all for joining us tonight on Two Bird Tuesday. We've got an incredible show, and we have an incredible artist with us tonight. I can't wait to tell you more. Haha. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming here. We have the amazing Jeremy Hurt with us. Jeremy, you still here with me?
Oh, I'm here.
There we are. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello.
How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm awesome. It is so amazing to have you with me here tonight.
No.
And I can't wait to learn more about you and to hear what you've got planned for the future.
Cool. We'll get into that.
Yes, we are. So, Jeremy, I have to ask, when did you start getting into like music and the arts?
I think about sixth grade. I remember as we were about to go into middle school, and the band instructor, whoever, came in and gave us all a test, the whole class, about like pitches and different stuff like that, and I actually failed it. But
you failed it?
Yeah. I don't have the best ear, but they came back, and anyone that wanted a second chance could take it. And I told them that I wanted to play percussion. So they just like tapped out some beats, and I just had to repeat them. And I passed that. So I ended up playing percussion in the middle school and high school band.
Nice. So was your mom or the dad the influence, or was it an uncle or an aunt? Like, who influenced you, or was it that teacher?
My dad played trumpet.
Okay.
And then, his brother, my uncle, was a drummer as well too. So yeah, that I had those two, and then my mom was a huge supporter though. So
nice. That always helps.
Mm-hmm.
When you have somebody that's going to listen and hear and, kind of get into your brain a little bit.
Yes. Especially when you're having band practice in your basement, and she's just cool with, everybody rocking out all day.
Nice. Yeah. Did she listen to a specific music that kind of got your interest?
So her favorite musician or artist or what is Steve Winwood. Okay. I listened to a lot of classic rock growing up.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Ozzy still has my heart.
Yes. My first concert was Steve Miller. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
That must have been a killer band. Oh, like a killer show, not a killer band. I know it's a killer band, but a killer show.
It was good. Yes.
That's awesome. So you started with like percussion first.
Mm-hmm.
And then what did you move on to?
I guess from there it was like I moved into like doing writing. I had always been interested in like short stories and stuff like that. But I never really pursued it for some reason. And then I just kind of, I was in bands, so I tried to write songs, but they all just turned out to be poems. So it worked out that way that I just started writing poetry.
Well, songs can be poetry and stories and things of that sort. Like a song comes from here. So
right.
When you write, and you also studied different types of poetry, didn't you, as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just like different forms from countries around the world to see like just how they fit in with like the the American language which wasn't like what they were intended for when they were created, but yeah.
So which form of poetry would you say is your favorite?
God,
that's a tough one. There's so many.
There's like,
which one do you prefer to write? Shall I say?
I kind of actually just prefer to write like freestyle. But like, even when you're writing freestyle, there's still some, parts of forms that you're following, whether you know it or not. So, but yeah, I like the, longer, kind of almost like prose type poetry.
Oh, that's awesome. And we have some poems that we're going to share of yours tonight as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to play a track from you so everyone can go ahead and check you out and get a little bit of an idea more about your art. Can you tell me about Abby's song?
I wrote this in the beginning of the pandemic when we were on like lockdown. Everybody was, uncertain about everything, and I felt like I should be creating more than I was with all the time that I had, but like I was so consumed with like the thoughts of this, this unprecedented, moment that like I didn't write anything. And finally I had a friend that was kind of going through the same thing. So I told her if she drew me a picture that I would make her a song. And that's how it got started.
Oh, that's a share for a share. I love it.
Yeah.
Sharing the love.
Yeah. And the picture is still on my fridge. So.
Oh, you'll have to share that with us sometime.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to play Abby's song here. I love it. And I did see that you also have the lyrics in. So we're going to look at those real quick and we're going to dig in here.
Nice.
Yeah. So here we have Jeremy Hurt. You can find him on BandLab. And once to go there, at Hurtnum, as you can see. And here is Abby's song. Do you want to read it or would you like me to read it? Because this is it's your work.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to read it.
How about I'll read it because you sing it.
Okay.
All right. So
right.
it's about time she started keeping time of the time. Her hands had become so small and weak. Just yesterday, as she held the universe, spilling over her cupped hands, now only a few seconds before her damned hands lose her significance over again. How can she keep working up with a stranger when she wakes alone? I suppose no stranger that the unwelcome stranger in her home. 3 a.m. and she thinks not a soul around, except for her demon in the corner keeping her tightly bound. The intruder, however, would not be fazed by the Rottweiler. This monster lives inside her and can grow to monstrous proportions. There's nothing scarier than these thoughts inside her. She's searching for a spiritual abortion. Do you remember being so young and free? Do you remember when life was satisfying? Do you remember the shade of the apple tree? And do you remember who you were going to be? Whatever happened to those days she lost? Do you remember when life was satisfying? Oops, I skipped up here. Whatever happened to those days she lost? Whatever happened to those dreams she tossed? Whatever happened to the childhood trust? Whatever happened to her wanderlust? Days just aren't the same, now living with this brain that apparently grew up with the ability to screw up. All her days she had been awake for 4 whole days. Her life in her hands, it's a disaster. This battle of pills, her new master. She's running into the ground, going faster. Done with the story, needs a new broadcaster. That's so deep. And I think a lot of people have felt that way, where they're always constantly running from those demons and those thoughts in their heads. And sometimes overwhelms them that you just can't get a good night's sleep. You just keep going and circling. I used to phrase it as being on the merry-go-round, and though you see things, that says, hey, this ride should come to a complete stop, you just keep going ahead and getting on that, because it's so hard to break.
Yeah, it is. And then the person that I wrote this for, struggles with bipolar and other things. And so I tried to kind of envelop that as much as I could without, truly understanding it with, not being affected by it, but seeing it through others.
Yeah. Bipolar is a very difficult, especially when you have a bipolar anxiety mix, because one's like, I want to go to bed. And then the other one's like, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? I got to get this done. So it's kind of like a tug of war and it just kind of wears you out. So mental health is a very big issue. If you are in the United States, you can always go ahead and look for your local NAMI. It is the National Alliance for Mental Illness. They have classes and groups that not only for mental health, but also for the family members that, are there to help give support. to
Yeah.
those that need it.
Yeah, that's
So,
super important because everybody deals with that, you know.
absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and let's hear for Abby's song.
All right.
It's about time she started keeping time of the time. Her hands have become so small and weak. Just yesterday, she held the universe spilling over her cupped hands. Now only a few seconds fit before her damn hands lose their significance once again. How can she keep waking up with a stranger when she wakes alone? I suppose no stranger than the unwelcome stranger in her home, 3 a.m., and she thinks not a soul around except for her demon in the corner keeping her so tightly bound. This intruder, however, would not be fazed by the Rottweiler. The monster lives inside her and can grow to monstrous proportions. There's nothing scarier than these thoughts inside her. She's searching for a spiritual abortion. Do you remember when? Being so young and free, do you remember when life was satisfying? Do you remember the shade of that apple tree, and do you remember who you were gonna be? Whatever happened to those days that she lost? Whatever happened to those dreams she tossed? Whatever happened to that childhood trust? Whatever happened to her wanderlust? Days just aren't the same, not living with this brain that apparently grew up with the ability to screw up all her days. She's been awake for 4 fucking days. Her life in her hands, it's a disaster. The bottle of pills from new master. She's running into the ground, going faster. Done with this story. Need a new broadcaster.
Oh, that was incredible.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever put music to poetry and spoke over it. So,
And I love the fact that I could understand what you were saying and it was over top in the music and you were able to like kind of melt into my mind.
like M&Ms.
That it, well, yeah. Melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Yeah. Melts into my mind.
Yes.
I love that. And that fact of poetry and writing, and that's what it's meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to make you think.
Yeah.
You know, and to be able to go ahead and get into, you know, try and set yourself into Abby's shoes is that's remarkable. And I bet you she felt so much from that you went ahead and like thought of her and wrote for her on this.
Yeah, definitely. It's
That's beautiful.
It was a lot of fun to do.
So you've been doing poetry and spoken word and things like that on BandLab for a while. What brought you to BandLab?
Once again during the pandemic, I got really, really bored. And like it was to the point where I was like cleaning out between my floorboards with a knife. Like I was like, I don't have anything else left to do. And then I think, I started writing a lot more. Like the creative juices started flowing again, and so I looked for a keyboard to start teaching myself how to play piano, and I needed something to play, through. And I looked for different DAWs and stuff, and I ended up on Cakewalk, which got me to BandLab. So I think maybe people do it the other way around, but like that's how it worked for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, Cakewalk is powered by BandLab, so they kind of go hand in hand. Yeah, and it's amazing that BandLab has allowed us to not only be able to mix it, through here, but also provide us cakewalk, all of that, like having your own little studio right at your hands.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, and
awesome.
I got a buddy too that's like been using Cakewalk for years and years and years. So it was nice to have that support and like
And knowledge.
yeah, knowledge. Yes, that was yes. Thank
Yes.
you.
I love it. I love it. Oh, so you went ahead, you started younger with percussions, you started getting into poetry and writing, and you found BandLab. And where do you plan on going in the future? Besides Sundays.
Mm. Man, that's a good question. I guess like I just want to see where the ride takes me. Really.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been on like BandLab for close to 2 years now, and I've started to gain like grow like a family on here, and some good friends and a band. So I love the fact that I can have a band where one guy's in Florida, another's in California, and I'm in
Yeah.
Michigan. Like that's awesome.
Right? You don't even have to leave your house for band practice.
Nope.
Nobody has to use the bathroom in the middle of it. So you don't
Right.
have to like stop and start all over again.
Yeah, it's great.
Aw, and then you have things planned for Sunday. We're gonna
Mhm.
start on Sunday,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
what is the name of your show?
It's going to be called The Upside of Hurt. So,
Yeah.
yes, being my last name, it's after a Facebook page that I made years ago when I noticed that there was just too much negativity floating around, and I wanted to do whatever I could to combat that. And I actually started making memes before there was even a name for them. Like my friend was a photographer and had all these amazing pictures, so I would just put motivational quotes like on the top and bottom of the pictures. And
Yeah.
little did I know like how big that would become. I mean, I didn't start it, but like maybe I don't
Trying to
know.
coin memes.
Yeah, maybe. Is it? Can I monetize it?
That would be awesome. You'd be rich.
Right. No, no, but like, yeah, I was just, like I said, just trying to spread some positivity and make people's days a little bit brighter. So that's
Right.
where it came from.
And what do you plan on featuring on Sunday? What
Um,
are you going to be looking for from everyone out there on the lab?
just like their personal poetry or anything that's yeah, anything like that, stories.
Poetry stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do some of the storytelling, because that's a whole art in itself, that like
It is.
Any language, you understand, like a story is a story, like what it is. So
Completely.
yeah. So yeah, there would be that, and then just kind of going over different forms and kind of breaking them down, and like a little bit of the educational part of it too. So but it's going to be fun as well. It's not just going to be
All right, guys, you heard him. So if you've got poetry, you got stories. I know on BandLab, like if you go into your projects, there's a lyric section. You can even write them there and save it and publish that out so we can see your lyrics. You don't have to go ahead and put it over music or anything else like that if you don't want to. We want to be able to hear you and see your art and hear
Mm.
you and hear your art and be you. Yes. So speaking of some poetry, how about All That She Was? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh God. Well, it's kind of a mixed meaning. It's not really like, it can be about a girl, but like a lot of my poems focus around addiction and the battle that is, and then recovery, and then the battle that is. So a lot of times when I'm talking about her, it's the drug and not necessarily a woman. But I remember someone asked me one time, she said, who is this her that you keep referring to? Because I never say any names or anything like that. It's
Mhm.
always vague. And I said like, what's the difference? Like they're all they've all been the same though. Really, like,
Yeah, when you're writing, instead of giving
yeah,
a name, her or him, she.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
like your name is here, right? He and
Yes,
him.
yes. Yeah. But it's like like every failed relationship kind of just like has melted into one, in the past. So like I if I sometimes I refer to one or two or three in a poem, but they all have the same theme. So it doesn't
Common
really matter who
denominator.
she is.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna listen to All That She Was. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait till Sunday.
Nice. Me neither.
All That She Was, Jeremy Hurt. You can go ahead and find him on Bandland Heard Him, and make sure you check in for the Sunday songwriting sessions. He will be here at 10 o'clock on Sunday night. And here we have All That She Was.
She was hope and inspiration if you had some determination in class. With a dash of experience, just a sprinkle of crazy, all wrapped up and held together with a bow of pride. The type of pride that just left you feeling better about yourself simply by being around her. She was everything to me, at least. Her personality was so loud and exciting and introduced her at parties before she could get to the door. If you weren't hooked by now, just wait till the conversation starts. Words gracefully dance off the tip of a velvet tongue while those chocolate eyes held your attention until you realize you lost yourself deep inside a sea of milky cocoa, like marshmallows soaking, waiting to be enjoyed. She brought grace into the world the day she was born, and she took it all back with her the day that she left for good.
Oh, that was awesome. That was deep.
Going for the tragically beautiful.
Gusto, yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness. And I do take notice that you do write a lot about like past relationships and hurt.
Mm. Yeah. It's like therapy, for me. So I got some things I had to work out, and that's where they ended up.
Well, that's beautiful because that's the part of storytelling and poetry and spoken word that, you're able to release those things that you have that you can't really like call somebody and talk to somebody about. But it's a form of being able to release that and not have anybody judge you.
Right.
Which I think is like beautiful because so many people are so quick to judge.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you, Jeremy.
Well, thank you. I kept my notebook hidden for a very long time for fear of judgment. So
yeah, I totally know what that's like.
Yeah.
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 And like I said, I mean, the hardest part sometimes is getting somebody to listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I thank you so much for sharing.
Of course. Yeah. I eventually I gave it to one person to read some things, and then I got positive feedback, and then I kept getting more positive feedback, and I was like, wow, this maybe I am creating good things. So it definitely was it took a little bit, I definitely had to get warmed up and some courage behind myself before I had shared anything. But once I did, I'm really glad that I did. So if anybody's like holding on to something and not sharing it, I suggest you do. It's very liberating.
Or beat yourself up and not have confidence because you have it in you.
Mm-hmm.
You really do. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yay. Okay, can you tell me about behind irises? Because I got irises. This is my attic.
this is this is this was like a spiritual moment that I had in like the most awkward place ever. But it happened, and like it was in Planet Fitness, which yeah, it was really weird, and like it was so like prolific to me though that like I had to like start writing it like right away. And I think I wasn't driving at the time, and my sister came and picked me up or something, and I was like saying it to her, like telling her about it so I wouldn't forget it, because God knows I will if I if I don't do something about it. But yeah, it was just like about like looking inside of yourself and seeing who you really are, faults and all, because none of us are perfect, and we're all works in progress.
That's right.
But but we're trying, and we're trying our best. So that's kind of what this was about, just like seeing like all of that was inside of me.
Oh, that's beautiful. I have to ask a question because I used to do this. I haven't done this as of lately, but do you carry a little notebook with you so that if you have an idea or like a line that you heard or seen or, just a thought that popped in, you kind of like jot it down?
I've gotten really good at pulling out. I have notes on my phone spot I've progressed, because I'll forget a pen and or something, so I know I always have my phone on me. So that's yeah, there's tons of notes in there.
Awesome. I'm guilty of that as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to listen to Behind Irises, and we're going to get into Jeremy's mind and behind his irises and see what's going on there in his attic. Here we go. Behind Irises, Jeremy Hurt. You can find him on BandLab at Hurt Him. Do it today. I'm sharing these pieces so you can go ahead and also check them out on the wall. So if you didn't get a chance to go ahead and listen to them or want to look at the lyrics again, they are there for you, as well as on youtube.com/Angified, twitch.tv/Angified. BandLab, Angify, Angify, and on Facebook as Angified Knows. Here we go with Behind Irises.
First time in 38 years, I finally caught a glimpse of what hides behind the protective cover of those brown irises. I saw a reflection of life, a life lived boldly and at times even audaciously. At the same time, I could catch shades of shame and guilt that seemed to cast an infectious shadow grips to all it encounters, like the thick air of a humid Michigan day, mid-July. I saw a story that some will never read and even fewer will understand. A tale narrated at first by extreme confusion and trenchant criticism, later replaced with a voice of tender love and unadulterated acceptance. I imagine a spiritual experience like this typically takes place in a temple or even next to a brook deep in the woods, yet here I am in the mirror at Planet Fitness, stuck gazing into the depth of my eyes and watching my life play back like a movie seen 1,000 times before. I saw a million emotions suspended in saline tears glazed over the brown portals to my soul. Emotions were gushing out of me, grasping at newfound freedom after many examinate years. No longer a hostage of the fear that had forced them into subjugation. A cleansing torrent of feelings rushed forward, breaking down the dam and erected and through to cleanse my heart. Tears hit the floor like tiny oceans, salty and cold, dropped from the heavens. Each drop tells a story of times past, good times, like the day my son Connor was born, and the doctor handed me a pair of surgical scissors to cut through the umbilical cord, which is much more robust than I had expected. Desolate times dropped from my eyes as well to the floor. Watched the tears filled with heartbreak from my last relationship smash into the ground. Heavily weighted with the release of immense sorrow. My vision blurred as the tears continued to flow. My eyes, now like the rising river, threatening to flood everything in its path. I tried to look forward but could no longer see the past, the buildup of emotion pooling up in my vision. Inside, I see a sense of panic. My past is being evacuated like hotel patrons as the fire alarm screams, warning the visitors of this place to run. I watched nearby as chaos ensued, weaker memories trampled as the stronger show no compassion for those in their path to safety, a beautifully choreographed disaster. Slowly, my vision returns as the reality of my experience settles. As my senses come back fully, I realize one thing: that I had never truly experienced life because I had never honestly experienced death until now.
Wow. Jeremy, the music behind that gave me the chills. Like, I literally have goosebumps going up my back right now between your words and that music.
Thank you.
I have not lived because I have not experienced death.
Yes,
That is like, whew. That's one of those things that's very true.
It like I mean, I haven't listened to that one in a while either. So like that's another thing too. Beyond writing, like when you like speak these words like that you write and you hear yourself say these things, like it takes a whole new meaning. Like it just, I don't know, there's something just different clicks inside of you when you hear it.
Yeah. And you have an amazing way of being able to tell it over top of music.
Thank you. It's I'm still working on it, but like it's been a really fun project, and I definitely don't plan on quitting anytime soon. So
well, good. You're not allowed to quit. You've got a family now.
yes. I have no idea how to quit anyway. So
well, speaking of death, you have another one called "I Got Worms."
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me about your worms, Jeremy?
So I was the title is obviously just is meant to be just something funny. I was thinking of Dumb and Dumber when they had the worm farm or whatever. But I was walking home from work one night and it was raining a little bit, and then, like, the sidewalk was just littered with worms. So I had to like literally like get off it or like jump around, like not to just like smash a bunch of worms. So I started thinking about it like on the rest of my walk home, and once I got home, about like why they really like come up when it rains, because it's there's definitely like a lot more. And there's a bunch of different thoughts on it. You can't just go and ask a worm
right
why it's doing what it's doing, but they can like observe it and try to figure out like what makes sense. So like when I started looking into that, I realized that like some of the reasons that they came up were kind of cool metaphors for things that have happened in my life. So I just kind of took them and paired it to like experiences in my life that they seem to line up with. So yeah, that's where I got worms came from.
Well, I have to tell you, you are the very first person that said you related to your life as to worms and use it metaphorically. Because normally you think of worms, you think of like when you pass on.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean? Yes. Or like if you've seen a bunch of worms like that, I know like my two older girls, they actually went ahead and like they were digging for worms the one day to think of a bunch of different ways to cook them. Okay, like I ended up with them on the stove, in the microwave, like you name it. Like it wasn't even funny. Like yeah. So how to eat fried worms. Thanks, guys. We're gonna listen to I Got Worms.
All right.
Make sure you check Jeremy Hurt out. You'll be able to see him tomorrow on Whip It Out Wednesday, which is a work in progress. Whip It Out with Rumor Mill Motel, Jeremy Hurt, Shinji, and Shan Moms. Also, do not forget, voting ends tonight for Synth Nation. So if you have not gone ahead and put your piece in for that contest, number one Synth Nation, check out at Shinji_holocrons for more information on that. The judging will be tomorrow from 2 to approximately 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tune in to see how the results turned out. Whoa, here we go. I got worms. Jeremy, help.
That worms come to the surface during the rain and the metaphors that they play in my life. 1. Some believe that worms come to the surface during the rain because they can't breathe. It turns out the worms do not have lungs and can breathe through their skin and survive immersed in water for over a week. Although the rain still oversaturates the soil, making it harder to breathe, and we assume the worms may panic and head for the surface. In my life, addiction had become the soil I squirmed through, and heroin the rain, as each puncture of a vein would produce a downpour of poison, restricting my breathing. I was still living, but the threat of death was just one storm away. Even for those brief moments when I did break the surface to ease my shallow attempts at a breath, it always ended up being quite short-lived, since like the worm, drying out exposed on the surface would surely mean death. So back to my damp dirt palace I go. Others say worms come to the surface during rain for migration purposes. Traveling on the surface is much faster than burrowing through the dirt, and with the moisture from the rain, the worms won't dry out, and even though they become exposed to predators, they still make their move. If we don't take the risk of exposing ourselves to uncomfortable and sometimes even scary situations, we will become stagnant and complacent, never wanting more. Being up in front of the microphone scares the shit out of me. If my outsides matched what was happening underneath my skin, all of you would surely be running for the door like the roof was on fire. What's scarier than being up here is the thought of being a bartender at 60 and my legacy being the tasty old fashioned that I pour. We were not sent to this world to serve drinks and punch a fucking clock. Society's motto for life is not how to be a human being. We are here to create, to love, to experience, to understand the infinite possibilities of the universe in a finite body. One other theory is that the vibration from the rain feels like a predator approaching the worm's head to the surface, which fishermen have already figured out will create waves in the soil to bring the squirmy suckers to the surface and trap them. Being fooled by false threats can sometimes set yourself up, leaving you exposed to those exact threats. If your only defense is to run and you cannot attack, you will become an easy prey. When I was in middle school, I weighed 110 pounds on a good day, and my friends were few and far between. I became the worm forced to the surface, made in hallways filled with predators. The few minutes between classes became a dance crusade, carefully choreographed to survive the gauntlet of pimple-faced, sexually frustrated football players as they argue over who gets to wear the number 69 this year. Then there were the days when an escape would not present itself, like sitting in the back of English class next to fucking Dylan, who I'm pretty sure could legally buy beer and was still in 8th grade. Dylan liked to play Bloody Knuckles, and this dickhead didn't give a shit about what I wanted to play. As I held my hands shaking out for the 4th or 5th, but probably 4th time, I just wanted to cry. Still, instead, I hesitantly offered my already swollen, blood-spotted knuckles to my current puppet master like a naive virgin sacrificed to appease the gods and bringing balance back to the world. My sacrifice would bring no satisfaction to the god of skinny white boys. Instead, it merely amused a couple hecklers that had caught wind of the lesson I was learning. The experience that being skinny and quiet reminded Dylan of punching bags and that one boyfriend his mom had, the one that always stared just a little too long and eventually got exceptionally good at being sneaky and keeping Dylan quiet. As his bedroom transformed from a safe place of comfort to an electric chair with innocence strapped firmly in and his last rites understood. Demons don't give a fuck how good you are at childish games. My experiences with Dylan taught me that I couldn't just run from my problems. I also knew, as a realist, that I could not win in a physical confrontation. I went home every day and replayed the events from this class in my head during showers as I fell asleep and any opportune time until I came up with the perfect response to every situation. I was collecting ammunition for my assault, and now I was finally ready to go back and fight my kind of fight. No fists would fly. We would not battle from a caveman's mentality. I would not end up like the worms left out to dry and die on the sidewalks after fleeing an imaginary threat, and I knew I must evolve if I wanted to survive. So I molded my words into bullets and shot them out of my mouth like an AR-15, dialed in my scope eyes and pulled my triggered tongue as many times as I could until my vocabulary clip emptied. The shells of hollow-tipped syllables lie smoking on the ground. My eyes opened as I see the look I've never seen in Dylan's face contorted like this. No longer in the grip of Dylan's control, I watched as he squirms away, looking for a wet hole to hide from his fear of a battle he will never win.
Wow. That was so heavy. I could so relate to you on some of that stuff, like in high school, and oh my goodness, sacrifices and no satisfaction, and those trials and tribulations of just growing.
Yeah,
Wow.
that one's that one's tough.
Jeremy, I can relate my life to a worm too. I love it.
I was pretty impressed with the ways that I was able to like put those into my life. It's just that just goes to show you that like just pay attention to what's going around you. There's so much stuff to be creative about that you're surrounded by. Like it's the possibilities are infinite, really.
Oh, I can't wait till Sunday, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow on Whip It Out Wednesday as well. It's going to be amazing. Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Jeremy, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the next piece on your list here.
All right.
All right. You have Mercurial. Did I say that right?
Mercurial.
Mercurial. Okay, go ahead, explain this one to me.
This one is definitely about a girl. It was actually like a recent relationship, and she mentioned this word about like that her mom used to describe her, and I'd never heard it before. So I looked it up, and I was just like, I love the definition. It's like what is it? Like being prone to like outbursts and stuff like that. Like I'd say it in the beginning of the poem, I believe, but because I can't think of it right now. But it's just about loving life and everything about like the person that's in front of you, and no matter
Valentine's Day.
Right. Even the rough times are still better than like the alternative or whatever, like not having anyone to share with or whatever.
All that she was, right? Like in all that she was.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I mean, I always try to find something positive to put, in even the most negative situations. Yes. There's always some silver lining or something to be proud of or happy with, and so this was my attempt at a love poem, and like a real like love poem, I suppose, without any like tragedy. So actually I did it at an open mic, and this woman was putting together a show for one of the meteor showers or something like that, which was cool. And she asked me to come to her to be on her show and read that poem. So
it was Mercurial. I got the word Mercurial. Yes. I said it right, guys. Ha.
It's not an easy one.
No, it's definitely not. All right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna listen to Mercurial. Are you ready, Jeremy?
2 for Tuesday.
Oh yeah. All right, so here is Mercurial by Jeremy Hurt. You can find him on BandLab at Heard 'em. You can see him tomorrow night on Whip It Out Wednesday, as well as Sunday night at 10 p.m. Here we go with Mercurial. Yay!
love you, oh loves. Do you have those? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have those? I'd like to share mine with you. Can we share? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love?